Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive.
It's great to be here. And honestly, looking at the data from this last round, the one ending February 16th, 2026, we have a massive amount to unpack.
We certainly do. We're digging into the Planet Rugby Six Nations Team of the Week, and, usually these lists are a bit of a mix.
A bit of everyone.
A splash of Irish green, some Welsh red, English white. But this week, the source material paints a picture almost entirely in two colors, French blue and Scottish navy.
It's incredibly stark, isn't it? If you look at the breakdown, it's basically a duopoly. We're talking about a week where Scotland and France didn't just win, they dominated the individual performance metrics.
How much did they dominate?
Well, between them, they've taken 11 of the 15 spots on the team of the week.
11 out of 15. That's a landslide. It leaves, 4 spots for everyone else?
Exactly. And look, our mission here is all about celebrating excellence. We're not here to, pick apart who failed. We're here to look at the stats, the impact, and some of the frankly impossible choices the selectors had to make.
Right. And there's a fascinating anomaly with Italy we have to get to later. But before we get into these world-class performances, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession so you never miss a breakdown like this.
So where do we start? Because looking at the source, there's one narrative that just dominates the backline.
We have to start with that quote, the one that sets the tone for the whole round. The source says, France essentially turned Cardiff into a suburb of Paris.
Oof. It's a brutal line if you're a Welsh fan, but tactically it's spot on. It wasn't just a win, it was an annexation of the stadium.
And that all started from the back with the number 15 jersey, Thomas Ramos.
Now, the source calls him one of the most gifted players on earth, and it's not just about his kicking.
No, not at all. It's his transition work, right?
That's the key. He's operating like a second fly half from the backfield. He wasn't just catching and kicking, he was catching and scanning, manipulating the Welsh kick chase, and just unleashing his wingers. He destroyed Wales from deep.
And when you have a conductor like that, you need some top-tier soloists. Which brings us to number 11, Louis Biel-Biarri.
He's been, a revelation this tournament.
The source has a fantastic analogy for him. They say his residency on the left wing is beginning to rival the Eagles' 204 shows at the Sphere in Las Vegas.
I love that. He's not just visiting anymore. He owns the shirt. And it's his complete skill set. He's not just fast, he's solid under the high ball, he defends well, just lethal.
But here's our first big dilemma. The other wing, number 14. France's Theo Adesogbi scored, what most people are calling the try of the round.
A breathtaking try. Pure highlight reel goal. If you were picking a team based on YouTube clips, he's in.
And yet he didn't make it. The spot goes to Scotland's Kyle Stein.
This is one of those impossible selections. It comes down to context. Stein was playing in the Calcutta Cup against England. That's a pressure cooker.
So it's like a difficulty multiplier.
Yeah, precisely. Stein's stats in that tight, gritty game were just undeniable. He ran for 73 meters, which in a Calcutta Cup match is worth double. But here's the clincher. He beat 6 English defenders.
6 defenders, that's huge in a game like that.
It is. And then you add his aerial dominance. So while the French winger provided the art, Stein provided the war. He had the grittier, higher-stakes performance.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, let's move into the midfield. Number 12, a French debutant who's already getting some massive comparisons. Fabien Broboiry.
This kid is special. You look at the stats. 74 meters run, bait 8 defenders. He was a menace.
But the stat that jumped out at me was the defense. 17 tackles.
17 tackles. For an inside center, that's flanker territory. He was hunting work, and he got a try on debut.
I saw they're already calling him the new Yannick Jossian.
Which is incredibly high praise. Jossian was that perfect blend of power and silk, and this kid seems to have it too.
And to pair with him at 13, we pivot back to Scotland. Hugh Jones.
He just loves playing against England, doesn't he? He's made for the Calcutta Cup.
He really is.
Yeah.
What was it about his performance?
It was how he exposed England's defense. He runs these beautiful arsing lines that just create hesitation. He finds gaps that don't even look like gaps.
And he got the nail in the coffin try.
The one that sealed it. Just when England looked like they might claw their way back in, Jones saw the opportunity and just shut the door. Killer instinct.
So that brings us to the halfbacks. And this, for me, is the biggest philosophical debate of the week.
Oh, yeah. The battle of the playmakers. This is context versus content right here.
At fly half, number 10, you've got Mathieu Jalibert for France. The source says he conducted a symphony of attacking ambition.
Sounds incredible. And in almost any other week, that gets you the jersey. He was pulling the strings, playing champagne rugby.
Like
but
he didn't get it.
No, it goes to Finn Russell.
And it's that same logic again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's the standard of opposition. Putting England to the sword in that claustrophobic Calcutta Cup atmosphere, it just carries more weight than a romp in Cardiff. Russell had to manage a game where every mistake was fatal. His performance had more gravity.
That's a great way to put it. And at scrum half number 9, Ben White for Scotland.
It's similar logic, but with a twist. The source explicitly mentions Antoine Dupont.
A king.
They basically say, Dupont is back and he's perfect, that's a given. We've reached a point where his brilliance is just the baseline.
So it's almost sorry, Antoine, you were only perfect this week.
Exactly. But Ben White was impossible to leave out because his box kicking was so pinpoint. It was a primary weapon that allowed Scotland to control the game. It felt like a reward for a guy who played the game of his life.
He absolutely earned it. He was the metronome.
He gave Russell the platform to work his magic.
If you're loving this breakdown of the Six Nations best, don't forget to hit subscribe to Rugby Obsession right now. We're doing this every single round.
So we've got the backs sorted, lots of flair, but games are won up front, and the forward pack selection is fascinating.
It really is. But first, the player of the round. From the second row, Francis Charles Ollivant.
Lagroon Charles, what a performance.
On his 50th cap, playing at lock.
And he scored his 19th test try.
19 tries. For a lock or a flanker, that strike rate is better than most international centers. It's insane.
It's unheard of. The source says he just owned Cardiff, and his versatility was key. He started at lock, then moved to the back row and didn't miss a beat. The complete modern forward.
And alongside him at number 5, his teammate, Mikkel Gyard, the rising superstar.
A different kind of player. Gyard is described as ferocious but intelligent. He does all the dirty work, the clear-outs, the heavy tackles that lets players like Ollivant shine.
Okay, now for my favorite part of this deep dive, the front row. We've talked about France and Scotland winning, but Italy lost to Ireland.
They did. Badly.
And yet, the front row is turning Italian.
This is a huge statement. At tight head number 3, Simone Ferrari. The source calls him the standout prop of the tournament so far.
Of the whole tournament.
The whole tournament. He toasted the Irish front row, just took them apart surgically.
And on the other side, at loose head, Danilo Ficchetti.
The pocket-sized loose head. He won his scrum battle, but look at the work rate. 9 carries, 12 tackles.
It's like having an extra flanker on the field.
Exactly. It shows you can dominate your individual battle even if the scoreboard goes against you. Italy's props won their war.
And it wasn't just them. We have to mention the Italian flanker, Manuel Zuliani at number 7.
A mammoth performance. He was a thorn in Ireland's side all day.
5 turnovers.
5 turnovers against Ireland is absurd. They're the best in the world at keeping the ball. That is world-class stuff from Zuliani. It really shows Italy's engine was working perfectly, even if the car crashed.
Okay, let's fill in the rest of the pack. Hooker, number 2, we're back to France. Julien Marchand.
Another 50th cap, another typically rumbling try. France's tight 5 just had a day out. Yeah.
And the back row. Number 8, our only Irish representative, Jack Conan.
Yeah, Ireland had a tough day, but Conan provided that close quarter power and got a crucial try when they really needed it.
Finally, blindside flanker, number 6. This was a tough one. The spot goes to Janie Ritchie of Scotland.
This was a selection based on emotional impact. He epitomized the Scottish effort before he went off injured. He set the tone. It wasn't about stats, it was about spirit. He was the heartbeat of that pack.
And that actually feeds into a bigger narrative about the coaches, specifically Gregor Townsend.
Ah, yes. 2 jobs, Townsend. The source suggests this Calcutta Cup win saves his skin.
A bit dramatic now.
It is, but it shows the fine margins. A loss to England at home and the questions start. But with a win like that, he's a hero again.
It's a roller coaster. So a team of French flair, Scottish grit, and a shock Italian front row. But we can't ignore the honorable mentions.
Oh, that list is stacked. You could pick a second XV from that list. That would be incredible.
Who stood out for you on the almost list?
From Ireland, Stuart McCloskey's basketball offload was pure magic. And Jamie Osborne's try-saving tackle, game-winning moments.
What about Wales? A tough day, but there were bright spots.
Dewey Lake. The source mentions his tearful rendition of the anthem. It showed what it means. And Aaron Wainwright never stopped smashing into that blue wall.
And for England, Ben Earl.
The man's a machine. 23 carries, the most in the round. His reputation is intact. Even in a loss, he just never stops.
And a quick nod to Joe Hayes, too.
Yep, shining in the loose and the tight. Some good individual pieces for England.
So this list is really a conversation starter.
It is, and it raises a question for you listening. Which of these exclusions are you most upset about? Would you have picked Jalibert's Symphony over Russell's Grit?
Or what about that Italian front row? Can you be the best unit on the pitch even if your team loses badly?
I think that's the most interesting question. It challenges how we view winning.
Yeah.
It suggests that if you do your job perfectly, you deserve the recognition no matter the team result.
Absolutely. So what's the takeaway looking forward?
The tournament is alive. France has found their groove. Scotland can win the big ones, and Italy's pack is serving notice. They are not to be bullied.
A week defined by French flair and Scottish grit. A celebration of excellence.
And a reminder that in the Six Nations, you can never predict what happens next.
Except maybe that Antoine Dupont will be perfect.
That's the one constant. Death, taxes, and Dupont.
Before you go, a final reminder to subscribe to Rugby Obsession. We want you with us for the next round.
The next round is going to be pivotal, so you won't want to miss it.
Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next episode.